Next, we're going to talk about finishing and interpreting your design, your results. Depending on how the steps are set, your results will change. After setting your load cases, fixations, construction space, design space, and non-design space, you have to start your calculations by clicking Start in Grasshopper. After doing that, a loading tab will show up, showing the progress of your calculation. Depending on your setup, this might take a while. You can see how long one step takes to calculate on the numbers on the loading tab. After the calculation, you can bake the results to use it in your design. How to bake the results in 3D. Baking analyzes the result and enables you to pull the result out of your construction space. If you have problems with getting results, try to go from less complex calculations to more complex ones to get solid results. Check if the steps are set too high or too low and try out different settings. Keep in mind that the steps are the amount of pixel in the x-axis. Another thing you can try is to make the construction space larger in the 3D calculation. You can either go back into your construction and change your construction setup to try get a different result. If your first baked result looks interesting, I recommend copying the construction space to save what you worked with and apply modifications in the copy. Another thing you can do to modify your result is morph and warp the results like this. Or adding and removing material by adjusting these regulations here. Make sure that everything stays connected. Removing material can help to make your result look more defined and makes the structure appear stronger. For baking a 2D construction, the steps are mostly the same as in the 3D construction, but there are some differences in how you treat the result. You can either use the 2D topology for a more planar result, or use the isocurve limit. If there's no result shown, you might have to enable the 2D topology option first, or the ISO option, depending on what you're working with. You can also do some fine adjusting for the result in 2D after baking. This works basically the same as in 3D by adding and removing curves. Remember to always group your curves after baking. If you're trying to calculate something quite complex, you can try to connect it to the result as a top view with a 3D calculation as a base. In the video, you can see what difference a 3D calculation makes versus a 2D calculation. As far as interpretation goes, you have to look at your SKO results as an inspiration that you can apply to your design. It should give you a good idea about how pressure and tension work in your construction and give you a tendency how to move on with it. There are different possibilities on how to adopt the results. You can pull your baked result up in Rhino and translate it into a shape you can work with. You can apply your own design decisions to it to make it more reasonable within your planned object.